So, you're thinking of overclocking your monitor. Welcome. I'll try to keep it short and sweet. First of all, doing any such overclock can damage your components and can void your warranty. So anything you do is your responsibility. Overclocking your monitor means increasing its refresh rate above the maximum it supports by default. I was able to safely overclock my 144Hz monitor to 240Hz and it runs like a charm, zero issues. But your results may vary. Right now on screen you can see some comparisons I tried to capture on my display. Perhaps not the best as it is captured with my phone, but it is enough to illustrate the differences. Some people might notice the difference between them easier. To me, the difference between 144Hz and 240Hz is subtle, but you know what they say. Bigger number, better. With that out of the way, first we need to check your hardware limitations. Depending on your GPU and monitor, overclock might not be possible. Monitor resolution, color depth, and refresh rate all impact bandwidth, and your components might not be able to handle the settings you want. Both your GPU and your monitor need to have the appropriate standards of connectors in order for you to be able to get higher bandwidth. The cable you use can also be a factor if it is not high quality enough. I will link this nice video bandwidth calculator in the description, as well as Wikipedia links to explain it all in depth. Now, as we can see on this video bandwidth calculator, let's say for instance we have a 2K display. Let's say it's 8-bit, which is more usual, more common. And let's say it's on default running at 120 Hz. You see, at 120 Hz, we could run it with HDMI 2.0, meaning we need HDMI 2.0 on our GPU and on our monitor. If we wanted to overclock it to 165 Hz, we would need HDMI 2.1, both on our monitor and our GPU. Now, for example, if it was a 10-bit panel, it would no longer work with DisplayPort 1.2. It would now need DisplayPort 1.3 as the minimum. Now let's say you have a 4K gaming display. As you can see, at 8-bit and 120 Hz, it would only work with HDMI 2.1 and DisplayPort 1.3 and above. If you tried it at, let's say, 165 Hz, you would need DisplayPort 1.4, and it would have DSC, meaning digital stream compression, meaning there would be some indistinguishable loss of quality to your signal because the bandwidth is almost too high. Also, your monitor panel itself might not be able to handle any higher refresh rate. The proper way to test it out is as follows. Open up your GPU control panel and go to the setting where you can add a custom resolution. On my NVIDIA GPU, I just opened the driver page, go to Display, Change Resolution, and then go to Customize, Create Custom Resolution. At this point, you would try to increase your refresh rate. Example, you go from 144 Hz to 165 Hz, but try to take it step by step. Don't increase it too much immediately. Then you test it out. You're only changing the refresh rate. Other parameters are considerably more complex. If it returns you a clear picture when you test it, it might be working fine. At that point, you can apply it in the control panel. If you accidentally apply a resolution not supported by your display, and it doesn't recover automatically, it will go black and not respond. At that time, you would need to go into safe mode to either uninstall your drivers or remove the resolution you created. Now, to check if it's working properly, there's a great website called Test UFO. One of the videos you saw at the beginning was from this website. It has quite a few tests, and the ghosting test here is one of the better representatives of how your display is performing, but you could also try, let's say, for example, moving photo. And you can see if the image is fluid, if it is stable, if it is working right. In that sense, this is a very good website for testing your monitor in general, as well as the potential overclock you made. So you can select a few tests on this site, and if you notice some weird artifacting, your custom resolution might not be stable. In the case of your panel being able to handle a higher refresh rate, but you are being bandwidth limited, you can try a very good tool called Custom Resolution Utility, or CRU for short. I will post a link to it and all of these other sites in the description, as well as a link to the guide on how to use it. But generally speaking, you would run the program Custom Resolution Utility. If you have more than one monitor, in the top corner you would select the one you would want to overclock. Then you would select Add Detailed Resolution. And then on the timing part, and this is very important, you would select Exact Reduced, as it consumes the least bandwidth of these parameters and is pre-configured properly. Then you would change the refresh rate to the one you would like to use. If you think your panel could handle it, then press OK and the resolution is added. At this point, you need to either restart your PC or just restart your GPU driver by running restart64.exe. Keep track of how to go back to recovery F8 if the screen goes black. The resolutions you add this way do not show as custom resolutions or refresh rates. They appear as any other normal resolution, as the system now thinks it is supported by default. The guides posted in the description will provide you with all necessary information in order to better understand any of these parameters. And of course, if there are any questions you've got, feel free to post them in the comments down below. That's about it. Good luck on your journey.